It started with her smile. I know that sounds dumb, like some sappy line from a love story, but I swear to you, it was the smile that tipped me off. Rachel's smile had always been crooked. Her left cheek lifted higher than her right, and one of her top teeth stuck out just enough to make it charming. But one night, about 2 weeks ago, she smiled at me from across the dinner table, and everything was perfect. Every tooth straight. Every muscle in place. No quirk, no soul. I remember staring at her mid-bite, chicken halfway to my mouth, thinking, that's not my wife's smile. I didn't say anything, of course. You don't just accuse someone of smiling wrong. Especially not someone you've been married to for 6 years. I figured maybe she was trying something new. Botox? Maybe a weird social media trend? She'd gotten into watching makeup tutorials lately, so who knows? But the smile was just the beginning. Week 1 it was little things at first. Stuff you could chalk up to stress or forgetfulness. Rachel always made coffee in the morning, 2 cups, black for her, cream and sugar for me. One day, she handed me a cup with no sugar. Another day, she added cinnamon, which she knew I hated. Trying something new? I asked, trying not to sound annoyed. She blinked at me, confused. I thought you liked cinnamon. I didn't push it. People make mistakes. But then it was her voice. Not all the time, just now and then, in short bursts. Like she'd say something and I'd think, that didn't sound like her. The tone was too flat. Or the pitch too high. Or she'd pronounce a word weird, like someone trying to mimic an accent they didn't quite understand. Are you feeling okay? I asked one night while we watched TV. She was sitting beside me, stiff as a board. She looked at me slowly, eyes wide like I'd asked something deeply offensive. Why wouldn't I be? I shrugged. You're just different lately. She smiled again, that damn perfect smile. You're just tired. She kissed my cheek, her lips were cold. Week 2 I started watching her when she didn't know I was looking. One morning I woke up early, earlier than usual, and she wasn't in bed. I found her standing in the kitchen in complete darkness. No coffee. No lights. Just standing, barefoot, staring out the window. What are you doing? I asked, rubbing my eyes. She turned around too slowly. Didn't want to wake you. But you're just standing there. I like the dark. Rachel hated the dark. That's when the pit in my stomach turned into something worse, like a balloon filling with cold air. Every instinct I had told me something was wrong. Really wrong. I started checking our photos. Scrolling back through years of birthdays, trips, holidays. Looking at her face. In every picture, Rachel had her crooked smile. Her dimple showed. Her left eye crinkled more than the right. I snapped a selfie with her while we watched a movie that night. Smile. I said. She did, perfect again. Straight teeth, even eyes, no dimple. I showed her the picture. You look different. She tilted her head like a dog hearing a strange noise. What do you mean? No dimple. Your smile's changed. It hasn't. I'm pretty sure it has. She stared at me for a second too long, then got up and went to the bathroom. I could hear her talking to herself in the mirror. Not full sentences, just mumbling, like she was repeating something over and over. I pressed my ear to the door. She said, "You are Rachel. You are Rachel. You are Rachel." Week 3 I started sleeping with the door locked. Rachel didn't comment on it, but I could tell she noticed. I could feel her watching me at night. One time, I cracked the door open around 2 a.m. and found her standing at the end of the hallway, just staring at the door like she was waiting for it to open. When I asked her about it in the morning, she said she was sleepwalking. She's never sleepwalked in her life. I called her sister one afternoon while Rachel was out getting groceries. "Hey, have you seen Rachel lately?" "Not in person. We texted last week." "Why?" "She seems off." Her sister laughed. "She's always a little off." "No, I mean really off. Like, not herself." There was a pause. "What's going on, Adam?" I almost told her everything, but I didn't. I didn't want to sound crazy. Instead, I said, "Never mind. Just tired." But I knew it wasn't just me. Week 4 the final straw came last night. I was up late in the garage, fixing my bike. Rachel had gone to bed, or so I thought. I finished up around 1 a.m. and came into the house quietly. I didn't want to wake her. But when I passed the guest room, the door was open. I peeked inside. Rachel was standing in the middle of the room. Naked. Her skin looked too tight, like it didn't fit right. She was whispering again. I stepped closer. That's when I saw her back, like a seam was running down her spine. A thin, red line, like a zipper made of flesh. I backed up, heart pounding. My heel hit the wall. She turned around. She smiled. "Perfect. You shouldn't have seen that," she whispered. I ran. Locked myself in our bedroom. Pushed a dresser in front of the door. She knocked once. "Let me in, Adam. We need to talk." I didn't answer. The knocking stopped after a while. I didn't sleep. Today I'm writing this in the back of my car, parked behind a gas station 30 miles from home. I don't know what Rachel is. But I know what she's not. She's not my wife. Not anymore. If you're reading this and something about your partner seems just a little off, trust your gut. Check the smile. Check the skin. And whatever you do, don't let them in. Later that day I drove around for hours, not really sure what I was doing. My phone kept buzzing. Rachel texted me 15 times. Mostly asking where I was. A few said she was worried. Then came the guilt trips. "You're scaring me, Adam. Come home, please." I didn't respond. Around dusk, I pulled into a motel lot and sat there staring at the check-in office, engine running. But something inside me said I had to go back. Not to stay. Just to see. To figure out what the hell was living in my house. So I did. I parked 2 blocks away and walked the rest of the way on foot, sticking to the shadows. The house looked normal. Lights on. Porch light glowing. The living room window had that same warm orange hue I'd seen 100 nights before. But it felt wrong. I crept around to the side, peeking through the kitchen window. Rachel was standing by the fridge. Just standing. Not moving. Not blinking. For at least 5 full minutes. Then, suddenly, she twitched. Like a puppet on a string. She turned, opened the fridge, and took out a jug of milk. She poured it down the sink. Then she put the empty jug back in the fridge. I recorded it on my phone. My hands were shaking so bad the footage was probably useless, but I didn't care. I needed proof. Next stop, the attic. We had an old ladder outside that led up to a vent near the roof. I'd used it once to hang Christmas lights. I snuck around the back and climbed up, heart pounding, praying the rungs wouldn't squeak. I eased the vent cover off and slid inside. The attic was dusty and pitch dark. I used my phone light, careful to keep it dim. That's when I saw the skin. 3 long sheets of it, stretched across wooden boards like drying animal hide. Pale, thin, human. One of them had freckles. I almost puked. Then I heard a voice. Below me. Soft and whispering. You are Rachel. You are Rachel. You are Rachel. But it wasn't just one voice. It was 2. I climbed down from the attic, barely able to breathe, and made my way through the hallway to the living room. The whispers had stopped. Everything was still. Too still. Rachel, or what looked like Rachel, was sitting on the couch, back to me. I stepped into the room. My hands were trembling. Rachel, I said. She didn't turn around. You came back. Who are you? She turned, slowly, with that perfect, empty smile. I told you. I'm Rachel. No, you're not, I said, my voice cracking. You're wearing her face. Her smile faded. Her head tilted. That's not very nice. Where is she? What did you do to her? She stood up. The lights flickered. I am her, she whispered. Her voice was layered. 2 tones, like a voice overlapping another. I took a step back. No. You're something else. You took her. She stepped toward me. Do you want her back? I froze. What? Then come closer. Look inside. She reached for the seam on her back and began to unzip herself. I ran. Straight out the door, down the street, not stopping until my lungs burned. She didn't chase me, she didn't need to. She knows I'll come back. And somehow, deep down, I know Rachel's still in there.
But if I lay down and I play down